along with Solidworks 2009 and Dezignworks 2009. You're first going to notice a new toolbar has been added to the Solidworks interface. This is the Dezignworks toolbar. Dezignworks is a gold product featured for Solidworks to utilize reverse engineering. So let's get started. On the toolbar, we're going to select the icon to align the part to the digitizer. So we're going to be actually picking some points on here. Some of this may be outside the camera angle to first define a plane to work on. Then we'll be finding a direction to work across, such as X and Y, and a possible origin. In this case, we're going to use the corner edge of this part for our origin. I'll take 2 points on each face and find that intersection. What you'll notice is, if you're already a Solidworks user, that you already know how to use Dezignworks. Because of our in-depth integration, the toolbar matches your sketch toolbar. You can also digitize interactively, sketching with the Solidworks tools and digitizing at the same time. So let's go ahead and use the Dezignworks tool and outline our part. Notice the alignment's been stored in the part for you. In this demonstration, we're going to be utilizing to show you how we can do freeform surfaces. So we're going to pick the front plane in Solidworks and start a new sketch. Now we can utilize all the Solidworks tools and Dezignworks tools together. I'm first simply going to outline the part, and notice that the Dezignworks runs right inside the property page. Also notice a nice tool is this Enable Extensions. When I'm digitizing, it actually extends the data, so I don't have to use like the corner trim. I can actually use power trim and simply just drag the ends together, saving you time. So all we're going to simply do is take points along this part. It's actually going to create your lines for you. We can jump right into the Solidworks trim tool, and like we talked about before, because we actually enabled the auto extend, we can do a power trim. Come over here and actually trim this off, saving you several extra clicks. We'll now go ahead and outline where we're going to do our freeform surface. Utilize the Dezignworks line tool. We're just going to drag this around this profile. We can hit the button once and simply drag. Just an idea to show you where we're going to be working. Now we'll go ahead and utilize the plane tool in Solidworks. We're going to throw some planes to this part. Let's first save it. And we're going to give it a name. We're going to save this bottle here. We're going to go ahead and utilize the Solidworks plane tools. And we're going to throw some planes across this part. We'll go ahead and pick the Solidworks like top plane. We're going to throw planes through here about every ½ inch. The reason why we're doing this, Dezignworks allows you to turn the arm interactively to act like a scanner. So we'll view these planes. What we're going to do now is actually take the probe and run it back and forth across the model. The only thing you have to do as a user is keep the probe in contact. So let's go ahead and select the lock plane tool. It has some patent pending technologies, such as the ability to store all the information to a relational database and reuse it at a different time. In this case, we're not sure exactly what we want to scan, so you notice I want to pick only a few of these planes. I'm going to tell it to create curves. I'm going to actually tell it to do all the filtering using Dezignworks. So I'm simply going to hold the probe in contact with the part, hit the button once, and drag it. Now you notice I didn't select all the planes because that's something really unique to Dezignworks. It actually can store the movement of the device. So we're going to first scan only a portion of this. And you'll notice a clicking sound. That's actually just giving you audio feedback to tell you that you're crossing those planes. Well, the nice thing is we can work over here a little bit, work in this area. We can work in this area. Only thing you have to do is keep the probe in contact with the part. So now we're going to actually just go back and forth. The reason why we're going to add a little bit more here is we're not sure we need all this data, but we might want to add data later. So once we think we have enough data, we're going to stop. You also can remove data. So let's take a second here to zoom in. We can zoom in and see if we need more data anywhere before we finish. So we might need a little bit of more data right in this area here. So we can actually just position the probe over here close to where we want to work, hit the button, green button, and fill it in. And also down in here. Now you might see this attachment on here. We have the ferro laser on here. Later we'll be displaying our new product called Digital Shape Modeling. We can utilize the laser scanner right inside of Solidworks. So once we have enough data, we'll go ahead and tell it to build it. And you'll see our cross sections are built. Now here's a really unique feature only to Dezignworks. Notice how in between here we're missing some data. That's because we didn't select those planes. Well, the unique thing about this is we are done scanning. Because the probe has already covered that area, we can simply turn on the planes again and actually even add planes in between those. Dezignworks gives you the freedom, and it's the only product of its type that actually can replay the data. So let's go back in here. You notice there's data missing in between here. We'll go to the lock plane command, and we're going to add these planes. Now again, they do not have to be here. We can actually offset at a different width. What we're going to actually do is load the movement. So we're going to say load, and Dezignworks keeps track of this. It's stored by the part name, hours, minutes, and seconds. So if you see we sort through these, we can come back here and at the last scan was this bottle with there's the part name, hours, minutes, and seconds. We're going to grab that data and tell it to rerun it. If it sees any new planes there, it's actually going to build all new cross sections. The other nice thing is you can totally rerun the movement and actually say I want to change the spacing. So in this case we have the spacing of the points about every 1/8 inch. We could change that and tell it to freeform and rerun it. Now you'll notice more cross sections have been added to our model. Now we utilize the Solidworks tools because again, notice in the feature tree, these are all native Solidworks entities. We utilize the Solidworks surface tools, and we're going to use the loft tool to loft the surface across there. So we're simply going to come over here and pick these sections and throw a surface across there. And again, we can pick every section, skip one, it's up to the user. Notice how nice and smooth the surface is. Now we need to extend that up. So let's use the Dezignworks tool to make a plane to extend that surface up to. So we're going to use the arm to take some data. A minimum of 3 points is needed, but more can be used. Now we build a plane to actually extend the surface up to. Let's go ahead and utilize Solidworks tools to extend the surface. We're going to select the surface edges to actually extend. And we'll extend these up at least the diameter of the ball, so we want to trim them. So I'm going to go ahead and make it a little bit larger here, so we can trim this. Now that we actually extended these, we can use the Solidworks trim tool to trim them back to get the exact shape of the edges where this is at. So we use the trim tool now, and our trim tool is going to be the plane we made. So I'll pick that trim tool from the Solidworks feature tree. We'll say keep this section here. There's our nice straight edge. The key is all the data we collected is a Solidworks feature and also editable. So let's say you needed to maybe modify this surface. Notice in the surface all the sketches are there. So possible to say there was maybe a flaw in the part. We can actually edit that cross section, interact it right in Solidworks. Zoom in, select the curve. You'll notice all the node points. So let's say, for example, we want to actually make an engineering change. We can actually grab the node point and change it. all the changes are real-time and interact right in Solidworks. By making that modification now, we can go ahead and see we've made the change. There's the change with the dimple. Feel free to visit our website at www.designworks.net and stay tuned to the next sessions of Dezignworks TV. Thanks.